Hello again. Right, so, going to explain what happened with Delminium. As the footage should show, Delminium, we besieged Delminium, in which we fought an enemy Sally. However, what will be seen when we get to the next part is that Delminium is no longer in our hands. Instead, it falls to the Dardanoi. We don't have any footage showing this. So, what likely happened was that either we did not capture Delminium, although we likely did, based on this screenshot and what I probably recall. So a likely scenario is the Dardanoi came down and attacked it whilst it was vulnerable. So probably coming either through here or here. Regardless, it was probably poorly defended at this point and had fallen to them. I hope this helps clarify a few things. Thank you. Back to the main video at hand. Let's get started. Go fuck yourself, Icarix.
No, wait, hang on. I think we should start this again because, like,
no, we're already short on time.
So, welcome back, dear viewers.
Yes,
I'm
it's been quite a while.
And he's Icarix. And
no,
for some reason, I decided
to
switch up our names for today. So, from now on, he's Icarix and I'm Kinagusis, you know?
No,
so
that's not the case, so shut up.
Okay, fine, I'm Icarix, he's Kinagusis. I just wanted to switch our names around just for once, you know? Because I'm tired of being called Icarix. I just wanted to be known as Kinagusis just for 1 second.
Then why did you choose the name Icarix if you're gonna get tired of it?
I'm stuck with it now, so...
Yes, well, anyways.
But yes, sorry for the long wait, dear viewers. It's been a long time coming because someone has been trying to build a new PC, and let's just say, if you've ever seen that Kadikarus video where he struggles to build a PC, this one is a close second. He'll tell you all about it. Trust me.
Well, I don't think it's anything close to what Kadikarus encountered, but certainly I can understand the feeling in ways. Been spending since January acquiring parts to build a much more powerful PC than my old build.
His old ass one.
Yes. Which is what this game footage was recorded on, like, ages ago. And, well, so, took a while. Made several mistakes in the building process, or rather in the selection of parts. First major mistake was buying an Intel processor, but buying a motherboard that only supported AMD ones. So they have a totally different socket to fit the processor. I was aiming to get an Intel process system, and I just didn't pay attention to what motherboard I was ordering. Second major... Well, then that led to me buying more parts than just a processor, cooler, a new case, the whole shebang really. Fast forward to like the end of February, beginning of March, I'm finally able to get the new machine built, and the power supply doesn't work. Power supply is faulty, can't get this thing on, so I go home. I brought my old machine because I was transferring parts from it, and I came home with no machine, old or new. So I had to deal with a weekend of no PC, just my old dusty laptop which hadn't been used in months, and hooked it up to my monitor. By this point I got a new monitor because my old monitor, 27-inch, wasn't working. And yeah, so have this new system, and then I get it back on like a Monday, because I was having a guy build it because he knew better on how to build this shite than I do. So I get the new machine back, and I'm trying to install like Google Chrome and Opera, and it just crashes, fucking crashes.
Did it run
Myriad of
into the
errors.
same issue as Icarus, where like it didn't report what the crash causes were,
It
or
was,
did
telling
it
you,
actually?
it was telling you what the crash causes were.
Well, that's a huge fucking relief.
Normally they tell you what the cause of crashes are. And yeah, so some of the problems look like they might have been tied to Windows not being installed properly. So we did a fresh clean install of Windows 11. Took several tries, but it succeeded. It was a lot more stable, but still had problems, still crashed. So I was off the next day, so I went to my mom's workplace with the new machine. Basically, we worked on trying to sort it out. We installed a lot of important drivers, and now it works fine. Just, you know, just slowly getting back to doing things. Still having a problem with sleep mode, can't get out of sleep mode. And seems like I'm trying to get used to the new graphics card where the fans turn on and it gets a bit noisy. It's actually on right now, but I don't know if anybody can hear it. We couldn't pick it up in our tests.
Which is a pretty good sign, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, but anyways, so we are, to get to what we're sort of watching, we are in a battle against Eperas. I don't really remember the context too well. This might be a fight outside of Dalminium, maybe it's before that, who knows. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been far too long, dear viewers, and we aim to rectify that.
Yes, the new DEI patch is going to come out soon, so probably a few weeks after that I'll start probably making videos on that, but that may still take time depending on when Eagles can pull the finger out to start working on those videos.
Well, my finger's already out, so I can already start putting my finger into this.
Yes, well, I'm talking the new series, because this particular series took, I think, a few months before you got the first video ready.
And I aim to rectify that.
Yes. But basically, we are winning against Eperas. That's the key thing here.
Sure, when are we ever on the defensive?
Yes. But yeah, it's going pretty well.
So who do we have forces-wise?
Well, we have our typical type of armies. We got our elephants, we got our high-quality swords that are Iberian. But like the Ambacti and Libby Phoenician Thrail swords, maybe the Thorax swords, or other kind of high-quality swords. This army has our hoplites in it.
That's good, that's good.
We of course will have Balearic slingers, because almost all of our armies have them.
I see we have our Ambacti as well.
Yes. As I mentioned, the Ambacti, so, you know. We've got our Atlas elephants. Because now that we have them, we're going to make damn fine use of them.
There's some giant ass pikes there.
Yes. That is one of the key things about this era is they really stretched out the length of the pike. And then they shortened it.
I think they had some issues, man.
Well, I think it was simply because it was a bit of an arms race. When you're trying to get an advantage against your opponent, who's also using pike armies, what are you going to probably want to do? You probably want to make your pike longer so you're able to jab them further away.
Uh-huh.
But then they're going to do that. And then you're just trying to get even more, one up them. Yes, we see some Ambacti fighting some Agrianian axemen. Quite an interesting battle, I like to say. Agrianians are pretty damn good. Pretty solid axemen.
Very, very.
But we've got our Ambacti.
Sure. Our Ambacti are like never useful at this point. I'll just rely on them for everything.
Yeah. But yeah. The Ionian Guard. We have our Libby Phoenician swordsmen. Libby Phoenician Thrail swords, and we also have Thorax swords. It's Carthage.
So dear viewers, I thought I should let you know that we will be nearing the end of our Qart-Hadasht sessions. Eventually, actually, we've got about 2 more sessions left.
Yes, we've recorded a total of 17 what I call sessions.
Yes, so
this is the end of the 15th, so we've got 16 and 17, probably at least another few weeks, if not another month or 2.
Yes, but we're almost there, dear viewers.
We always say this. We're always saying, oh, we're a few weeks, we were a month or 2 away, and we keep getting delayed.
Yes, either due to Icarus's laziness or PC issues on Kunakusis' end.
Yes, well, at least the PC is very stable, and I'm getting more used to recording stuff, or not even recording, just gaming. I need to try out recording and see what it's like and get OBS correctly configured. But yeah, and we got 2 nice series planned out to do in this game. 2 nice campaigns. One is the Seleucids, and another as the Iweriu. So that'll be fun.
Yes, indeed.
Haven't played as those factions in quite a while.
Can't wait to hear your reactions, at the very least.
Yes.
Or at least read them.
Yes. And it'd be nice to try out some of the other nifty submods that we have access to. Like the oh-so-brilliant Dong. Definitive overhaul, or definite overhaul for naked gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
That's what it's called. It's Salmon's submod. I talked about it a few times. It makes the naked units look truly finely naked.
Now, how fine are we talking about? Are we talking like,
they have their lads out.
Ooh la la.
To be a truly intimidating sight. Yes, I remember that. I think they took the loincloth texture. I think Marco Damon did this. He took the loincloth and refashioned it.
Yeah?
Into the shape of, you know what? Into dangly bits. And I think Summary added the skin textures. And then Salmon, I think, added the bush and added it to the units and fine-tuned it. And then he released it. So it's, yeah, been great. Though since getting the new PC and the resetting I had to do, which I don't have access, I don't have the mod anymore, I have to re-download it.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard, should it?
No, because I'm on Salmon's Discord server, so I can just download the latest version. He's on his Discord server. The thing is, I might have to do another reset on the PC to see that fixes the sleep mode issue.
Okay, well, hopefully it won't be that much of an issue.
Yeah, so it might mean I have to re-download all these apps and everything. So we'll just see what happens in the coming days, weeks, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're about halfway to go through this video.
Yes, we're running by very efficiently, if I do say so myself.
Yes. Because I was like, one thing, it's just a bit awkward how I'm placing myself at the moment to talk through this microphone.
No, you can't see our dear viewers, but he's basically off on the corner now, so...
Yeah, you see...
It's a bit jagged for him, but...
Yeah, you see, I got, as I mentioned, a new case. It's the Fractal Define 7, if anybody who knows their shit and is interested wants to know. It's a pretty nifty case, but it's quite big and bulky. And my room is pretty cramped, so the best place really to put it is underneath my desk, where my old PC was, but it's bigger, bulkier and wider, so it juts out more, and yeah, it's just I have kind of an angle at the moment. Because it's kind of hard to move. So, at the moment, I have my chair kind of at a sort of an angle to everything. So it makes things just a tad awkward in positioning. Another one of those kind of mistakes, I would say.
Sure, it's all part of the process anyway. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you get adjusted to new things. Some things are going to be a little bit out of order, but you may
Yeah,
do
and
what you
again,
have.
it's all a learning experience. This was my first time trying to acquire parts on my own, figure out what to go for. I used PC Part Picker, but the thing was, on Part Picker, when I was picking the motherboard, yeah, I just went MSI Mag, B650 Tomahawk, Wi-Fi, LGA 1700, I think it is. But when I went on Paradigit to buy the motherboard, all I just saw was, oh great, MSI Mag B650 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. What I didn't pay attention to is that it said AM5, not LGA 1700. So I buy this motherboard, and it's only when we have a family friend who might be able to help in the PC building came along, and I noticed, oh wait, the box for the motherboard says AM5. By that time I had learned about the AM5 LGA whatever stuff, which is basically just the kind of socket-y things for how you connect the CPU to the motherboard. And that made me go, oh shit. And yeah. So the problem was just, I just didn't pay attention. I didn't really know what I was doing. But I've learned a lot now. But on other matters, as we see, there's Epirot reinforcements.
Oh dear.
I'd say what I did was I probably hit the turned off the control large armies. Maybe.
Oh,
Like
there's a feature like that?
Well, so there's a feature, if say you got like, well, I suppose it depends actually. So if you have, say, 2 armies, you got an army, you got a reinforcing army, you can choose to, there's an option you tick called control large armies, which basically just means if you've enabled up to about 41 units on each side will appear on the battlefield.
Oh, okay.
But if you have it off, it means you're stuck to 20 on each side, and if any unit has shattered or is gone, you will get reinforcements from the other army. So what I probably did here was had that feature on probably, so that meant the Epirot armies were coming in kind of call it waves. So what we have here is I looked at the garrison of what I think is Delminium coming out after I defeated the main army that was probably outside it. We just have the generic Greek cavalry, which indicates they are that they are garrison cav. So yeah.
Well, I mean, at least that's a tiny bit of challenge. You know what I mean? Like,
In its own way, yeah. Though it's probably in its own way can be it can be its own challenge, but it's probably generally easier than having than having the large armies off is probably easier broadly than say having them all pile up together. But I partly do it because my PC would have struggled to handle 40 on 40.
Oh, it hasn't gone. It hasn't gone to that stage where it's able to handle that.
My PC at the time would have struggled.
Oh, right. But what about the new one? I think it'd be able to.
Probably, but I don't know. Some of it is also to do with the game's own limitations also.
I guess that also has to factor into things as well, yeah.
And you could have a really powerful PC, but the game could only handle so much. It's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I guess it also has to come down to the amount of space that's available as well. You know, like...
There's a bunch of little factors at hand. I think another thing is the game is built I think, on a 32-bit engine, so it's probably only really using like half of what your PC is capable of using. Like I know there's a way to trick the VRAM usage to be higher, which is better for performance generally. But yeah. I think one reason actually, I don't think I actually had in this army Balearic Slingers. It looks like I had the Peltas instead.
Oh, why didn't you?
I think I decided to use Peltas in these one or two armies. These Peltas are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are pretty cool, alright.
Basically, they don't have anywhere near the range of Slingers. They can hold their own in melee reasonably well. You know, that's the main thing with Peltas. But yeah, so our elephants are attacking the archers.
Making short work of them, I see.
Well, the archers are just generic Greek archers. They're going to be shite at melee.
I know, but all the same. Oh, they're seeing themselves running away like ants on a hill.
Well, because they've skirmish mode enabled by default.
Oh, right.
It just means a ranged unit will try to avoid melee any unit coming near them. So yeah. So we're trying to surround their troops, charging them from behind where we can.
Catching them from behind.
Because they are vulnerable that way.
Or what other vulnerable sides are there?
Let's start from behind. I think their right hand side.
Why?
Because they're not shielded on that side.
Oh yeah, right.
The thing is, when units are vulnerable in the areas that their shields do not protect them. So it means their back and I think their right hand side. For those are the most ideal areas to hit them with projectiles because they can't protect themselves with the shields.
Yeah, that actually does make sense.
And I believe in melee, their shield bonus does not apply in those areas. Certainly from behind, they don't have a shield bonus from behind.
Yeah, of course.
That's what makes it really effective to use like shock units and hit them from behind. Like your Dacian Folksmen or from Fire Warriors or whatever. If you have them charge a unit from behind, they can do just massive damage. Which is kind of the best way to use those kind of units. Is to rear charge or flank. Because they don't have shields normally. Because they're carrying large two-handed weapons. So yeah, it looks like the enemies are all breaking and routing. We've just entered the routing phase.
That's good. That's very, very good.
Yes. So we're just slaughtering them all.
Picking off our just desserts.
Indeed. And since, I suppose, good to remind that the footage for a lot of the campaign bits in this session were corrupted, or it was dodgy recording with OBS.
Yes, but we can personally guarantee you that we won't be running into any issues like that in our last two sessions.
Yes, those were smooth sailing, more or less, but it does mean that
very smooth
it's probably
sailing.
best to show a couple of pictures of some things that happened that we'll show probably afterwards. So a few notable events seem to occur in the session. Our faction leader died. I don't know how. Probably old age. But he's dead.
Well, that's a bummer.
So we have a new faction leader. I think it's a lady. Because I think like the female generals submod in this. Yeah, the female general submod in this campaign. But yes. I look forward to playing the Seleucids again.
Yeah, they should be interesting enough.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I've been reading John D. Granger's books about the Seleucids, so...
Any interesting tidbits?
Oh, quite a bit of interesting history. I'll probably go into it more when we actually cover the Seleucids. But it's been interesting learning about their history. You know, like, I've just finished the second, it was 3 books. I just finished the second one, which is all about Antiochus III, the longest reigning king of the Seleucids.
What was it like?
It's quite interesting. But, that's how we have to go at. We're finished.
Goodbye, session 15. Bring on session 16.
Yes, indeed.